you may remember me from yesterday. I was here too, and I already told you this. But funnily enough, today I don't have to run. We have more time. And I'm Spanish, so I speak a lot. I'm also half German, but that's a different thing. So today we have a bit more time, so I can talk a little bit more about what we do and who we are, and why you should potentially join us, and why we should fight the European Union. I know, I don't need to explain that. You already know that. We have a criminal running our money here in Europe. So anyway, I'm General Kenobi, and I'm going to present to you European Bitcoiners, which is a pleb-run organization, volunteer, non-profit. So let's get started. Why European Bitcoiners? Well, let's start with a comparison between Europe and the US. You'll see where this goes in a minute. Basically, I chose the US because it's very similar to Europe in many reasons, in many aspects. One of them would be the size, of course, also the GDP, like the economy, was very similar, both advanced regions. And also we have a evil entity trying to push down on our liberties. In the US, we have the US government, and in Europe, we have the European Union, the European Central Bank, controlled by a criminal called Christine Lagarde. So I thought it would be interesting to look at how they do things and how we do our things. So moving on, we will explore what the Bitcoin social fabric is, because I feel like that's something they have and something that we are trying to build. In the US, you may notice that we have things like the Pop Key Bar in New York City, or Bitcoin Park in Nashville, Tennessee, where the next BTC conference will be happening. We also have BTC Miami, Bitcoin Commons, Pleb Lab, Bitcoin Policy Institute, Satoshi Action Fund, and many others that I may not even remember, but you may know. And these projects, these institutions, pushing Bitcoin forward at a federal level, they're only supported by all the plebs like us, who spread the message of Satoshi Nakamoto all over the US and create this fabric, this social fabric of people who get together, have ideas, and build something great. And that's something I got from Jeff Booth, because Jeff Booth, in one of the podcasts with Peter McCormack, he said, referring to cities, but I think it also refers to internet cities, the Telegram group chats, the Signal group chats that we meet in, Nostr, where we meet, right? That when all of our minds link together, we form somewhat of a supercomputer, and great things come out of that. And I thought that was very powerful, and something that we do find in the US. So while that's what was happening in the US a year ago, what was happening in Europe 1 year ago? I would please like to insert some clown music, because a year ago, and still to a certain degree, we had things like banning proof of work, yay! We also had things like unhosted wallets. What is that? I have no clue what the hell that is, but apparently the EU knows what that is, and they want to ban them. And we also had great technological innovations like a digital euro, a central bank digital currency, yay for human freedom and human rights in the European Union. So, we were disorganized last year, and we were also decentralized. But that's not how we should be. As Michael Saylor likes to say, we should be decentralized, not disorganized. And many of us plebs felt that way. We felt that way, and that's why we spontaneously decided to organize. And you can see that with this tweet. It was posted by a random pleb called Sovereign Monk. One day he was fed up with all the stupidity coming from the European Union and the European Parliament. You know, the unhosted wallets was spoken for, banning proof of work, getting a CBDC into our lives. And he just said, you know what, we gotta push against that. I don't see anything on a European level. Let's try to do something. And even though he was a pleb, this tweet, it resonated. It went somewhat viral. It had about 50 retweets, 280 likes, and I can still remember that there were at least 50 replies. All of them from plebs from all over Europe saying, yes, I like your idea, I want to do that. Like, how can I help? Like, let me in. And very spontaneously, we decided to come together, and every one of us decided to build a part of European Bitcoiners. And what we realized very quickly is that the thing that separated us from the US is that in the US, they mostly speak English, potentially Spanish, from all the Latin American immigration they have, but mostly English. Everyone understands English. In Europe, I bet in this single room, we have at least 50 languages happening right now. people that speak 50 languages. I myself speak 4 of them. And one of them, Catalan, is very minority, right? It's a very small language. So in Europe, we have 40 officially recognized languages, 100 more that are smaller, 5 million, 4 million people. One of them, the one that I speak, right? And that becomes somewhat of a language barrier. It doesn't allow us to communicate. In the US, what's happening in Florida is known in Montana, is known in New York, is known in Tennessee, is known everywhere. What happens in Spain is known in nowhere. Who knows what's happening in Italy here? Sweden? Romania? How's the Bitcoin scene in Poland? Can you tell me? Are you aware of it? Switzerland? Okay, in Switzerland we have Lugano. How about Denmark? Norway? Spain? Can you tell me? Nobody knows. But if I tell you, Tennessee, what's happening there? Oh, we know that. Texas, what's happening there? Oh, we know that. They all speak there. We don't. Why? Because we have a language barrier. And this language barrier doesn't allow us to move information, not only from the US, things like great content from Peter McCormack, which is in English, or Parker Lewis from Texas, or Brandon Quittem, or things by Luxor about Bitcoin mining. So it cannot move to Europe because it's in English, and your grandma doesn't understand it. Your brother-in-law doesn't understand it. Your friend from the village in the middle of nowhere in Spain doesn't understand it, right? But also it doesn't allow us to communicate from Spain to France to Italy to Poland to Czech Republic to Germany to Denmark. There's no communication amongst European nations. But then even worse, in my opinion, is that the European Bitcoiners, they cannot get to the European no-coiners. You want to talk to your brother-in-law. Oh, but he doesn't speak English as well, and you're going to try to explain him that the money's broken and that also Bitcoin is better in a language he doesn't speak. Yeah, no, thank you. I'll read that later. I'll listen to that podcast later. Oh, 2 hours of English, a podcast? I don't know. Content in English? Give it to me in my language, in Italian, in Spanish, in Polish, in French, in Danish, right? And the other 40 plus languages that we have around Europe. So we thought, language barrier, that's what we have to attack. And we have to allow the plebs to do it by themselves. So we decided to create 2 things. First of all, the website. It's a pleb-hosted, free publishing platform. We will not censor you. And if you have an article, instead of posting it on Medium, where on the right side you will see, Pepe coin and fucking bullshit coin and P2P crypto trading and get millionaire, right? In our site, you send them a Bitcoin article, they will only get Bitcoin articles. That's it. Only Bitcoin. It's also pleb hosted. We will not censor you. We will only filter shitcoins, so you're sure to be amongst good people. And we focus on a few things, mainly pleb translations. So any pleb in Europe knows at least 2 languages, English and their local language. So any one of you can start to do any amount of proof of work. Let's say you have a little bit of time during the week, or you have a summer that is pretty free. You're not a coder, you're not a developer, you're not a millionaire yet. Let's wait 2 bull runs. And you decide, hey, how can I help the community? Well, you can start translating. What's your favorite article? What does it talk about? Well, it's most likely in English. Let's get it in your language. And where are you going to post it? Well, you can host it in European Bitcoiners next to other Bitcoin content. Then we also host original pleb articles. Leon Wancombe, he has been posting some great content about real estate and Bitcoin being property and how Bitcoin fixes the real estate market. I really recommend you guys check it out. And then we also have some other archival content that we think is just great, and we don't want to get lost, and we want to have it around. And apart from that, we thought that Europe needed somewhat of a town square to connect, find signal, organize a place where a Norwegian can talk to a Spanish and a Portuguese about tax law, where a French can coordinate with an Italian and a Pole about going to Switzerland to Lugano, where people of all over Europe can just quickly and seamlessly communicate. Because otherwise we live in our local meetups, in our local Telegram group chats, and we don't get out there. Yeah, you want to know something about the other places? What are you going to do? Go to the French Telegram chat where they all speak French and you don't speak French? No, in European Bitcoiners, you will most likely find some French-speaking people that are living there that will more than gladly help you out to figure out Bitcoin around France. And then also, what we want to do is promote and boost local meetups. Do things like, hey, you meet someone from Hungary, and you're in Spain in vacation. Do you know the Hungarian Bitcoin community? Do you want him to fall after your 2 hours of speaking about Bitcoin for some crypto scam, for Ethereum? Come on. No, send them to European Bitcoiners, and you're assured that they will find some Hungarian meetup or content or person that will say, hey, fellow man, fellow woman, come here. I will finish the work that a fellow Bitcoiner did back in Spain in your vacation. And also to stay informed on continent level stuff. So not just find your local meetups and distribute all the Bitcoiners around their local meetups and boost them, but also what is going on at the European Union level. What are they doing? What stupidity are they saying? Unhosted wallets again? God damn it. No, we don't want that. So if you are interested, if you would like to help us as a pleb, volunteer, self-hosted organization, you can find us over here. Just scan the QR code, it will take you to a website. There you can find, you can go through to the original website of European Bitcoiners with all the articles, or you can go through to the Telegram group chat, where you can know more about us and you can ask questions, get informed, know how you can get involved. There's quite a few of us who are also around here, roaming around. I see one of them down there, you can ask him. He's from Belgium, nice guy, and he will help you out to say, hey, you can help us this way, you can help us that way. We need people from this place, we need people from that place. Otherwise, we're looking for pleb translators. Any one of you guys, if this summer you have free time, translate an article, host it in European Bitcoiners. Translate another one. Orange pill your grandma, orange pill your mother-in-law, your brother-in-law. Orange pill the world, orange pill Europe. Then also some developers, editors, graphic designers, anything you know how to do, we would love to have your help and have your proof of work with us. Otherwise, thank you very much.